Okay, I'm back. Here's chapter 4. Whoa. All right. So that's just a little history lesson. Obviously, some of the special tissues we have here, tissues, epithelial, the stuff I marked in black is going to be on your test. Make sure you're paying special attention to that. Classification, this is the shape. So I circled each of those little doohickeys up there. Make sure you're paying attention to squamous epithelial, cuboidal epithelium, and columnar epithelium. And then down below, you had something like this on your worksheet. Make sure you're familiar with the locations of these different parts. Okay. Continuing. Here we are, page 84. Basal membrane support, what to do. Kind of think of like the mortar that anchors the cell. Stronger connective tissue holds it down. Make sure you know these different types of junctions as well. We have the 3 junctions. Tight junctions, adhesion junctions, and then gap junctions. Where are they located? There's a question down here at the bottom. Which type of junction we expect to find between 2 cells that share ions or raw materials? Like in the cardiac muscle? Yeah, probably these protein channels. Okay. I didn't mark a whole lot, but again, the diagram down below shows these different things. So be familiar with the types of junctions. All right, page 85. Connective tissue supports the body tissue. Make sure you're familiar with the different parts up in here that go along with connective tissue. And then this table. I put a little star by this table. Pay attention to this table. You're looking for the different types of connective tissues, the fibrous and the special. Each one has 4. So make sure you're familiar with the 4. Chances are your test's going to have like which of these is incorrectly matched or which of these is incorrectly labeled. So be sure you're familiar with the 4 different types of fibrous and the 4 different types of special. Turning the page to 86. 86, reticular fibers, a round substance. You can see on the bottom the 3 different diagrams. 2 different diagrams on that one, 2 different on this side. Sorry. Fibroblasts, loose connective tissues. Make sure you're familiar with those pieces as well. Dense connective tissues. I didn't mark a whole lot there, but there are good pieces that go along with this next piece. So cartilage. And like I said on the chapter review, check. There are no blood vessels in cartilage. Make sure you're familiar with that concept. This is why cartilage is so slow to heal when it gets injured. Bone, blood, and adipose tissue are also in this grouping. Moving on to 88. We're really low on time here. It's not good. 88. Muscle tissues. Make sure you're familiar with muscle fibers. The 3 different kinds: skeletal, smooth, cardiac. Right here, I kind of noted a couple pieces here in the smooth muscle. Make sure you're familiar with how they're powered. 4-5, the nervous tissue. You can see there's kind of a breakdown of the different parts. 3 main parts: the cell body, dendrites, and axon. Be sure you're familiar with those parts. Glial cells and their job as well. 4-6 looks at organs. This is kind of where we get into the organization. We've got organs, organ systems, down to the different types of organ systems we're looking at. So again, familiar with all these guys. I'm not going to sit and stop on this one so you guys can look at that later. All right, tissues. What do? They work together. Tissue membranes. I noted these different types of membranes: serous, mucous, synovial, and cutaneous. Make sure you're familiar with. Down below here, you can see the different breakdown. I put a little star there. Pay attention to the different areas: posterior and anterior cavities of the human body. On to position direction. We did a little activity on this, so make sure you're familiar with the different positions. Then skin. Skin is a integumentary system. Here are its main functions. Be sure you're familiar with these main functions right here. Dermis versus epidermis. What do they mean? On the next page here, nice little diagram to look at. Down below, melanocytes. What's their job? Fibers in the dermis provide strength and elasticity. So I kind of marked here, when you get older, what happens to your skin as you get older? Things happen. All right. Then I circled these different parts here. Make sure you know the name and job of each. There's like 2 pages left here. I got this. That's kind of not a whole lot there. 4-8. Again, be familiar with the interstitial fluid, what it is. Feedback controls, the 4 parts. Control variables, sensor, control center, and effector. negative feedback loops and how they work. And then this last little piece here, positive feedback, child labor is the main one that we talked about in class.